Have you ever felt rich before you had the proof? Have you ever closed your eyes, taken a breath, and sensed that everything you needed was already in your hands? Even when the bank account whispered otherwise. That sensation, that invisible wealth, that hidden river beneath your feet is gratitude. Gratitude is the golden key. Florence Scovel Shinn declared with crystalline clarity, "Gratitude is the law of increase. When you give thanks, you multiply. When you praise, you expand. When you bless what little you see, the infinite rushes in to fill the room." Imagine standing in the dark of early dawn. The world is hushed shadows stretch long, and the air is cool with uncertainty. You do not see the fullness of the day yet. But then, there it is, the first light of sunrise. It spills slowly across the horizon, bathing the unseen in visibility. Gratitude is that sunrise. It reveals what was already there, but hidden. It makes visible the wealth that was awaiting you in silence. Without gratitude, you walk in shadow, unsure of your footing. With gratitude, the path glows golden beneath your steps. Right now, in this very moment, I invite you to say softly, even if only in your heart, "I give thanks for the millions that are mine by divine right." Let those words sink into you like sunlight warming the skin. You may not yet hold the proof in your hands, but can you feel the vibration it creates? A door shifts open. A veil lifts. Gratitude moves you from begging to receiving, from longing to enjoying. I once heard of a woman who transformed her finances without a raise, without a new job, without any external change, only through a daily ritual of gratitude. She had struggled for years, weighed down by bills and fear. One day, she decided to begin and end every single day by writing down 10 things she was grateful for. Not 10 big things, just 10 real ones. A hot meal, a smile from a stranger, the comfort of her pillow. Each time she wrote, she said aloud, "Thank you. Thank you for my endless supply." At first, nothing shifted outside, but something was transforming inside. She stopped waking in dread. She began to notice opportunities she'd overlooked. She smiled more, and soon the external mirrored the internal. Her employer offered her an unexpected promotion. A friend connected her to a side opportunity. A forgotten debt was forgiven. Within months, her financial landscape blossomed, all seeded by gratitude. Pause with me here. Feel this gratitude is not a reaction. It is a cause. You do not wait for the blessing to give thanks. You give thanks to summon the blessing. This is the reversal that transforms everything. Gratitude takes the closed fist of scarcity and opens it into a hand ready to receive. Imagine holding a small seed in your palm. It looks insignificant, almost powerless. But gratitude sees the orchard within the seed. Gratitude waters it, nurtures it, blesses it. Without gratitude, you see only the tiny speck. With gratitude, you behold the harvest. I ask you now, have you ever felt abundance simply by saying thank you? That sense of warmth, that shift in perspective, was it not a form of wealth itself? Wealth is not only numbers on a screen. It is the fullness of heart that allows you to experience the richness of life in every breath. Let us affirm together slowly with reverence. Thank you for the millions that are mine by divine right. Thank you for my endless supply. Thank you that every need is met before I ask, every door opens before I knock. Every desire is satisfied before it forms upon my lips. Say it again, not as a plea, but as a declaration. Gratitude is a magnet. Gratitude says, "More come unto me." Fear says, "There is not enough." But gratitude whispers, "There is always more, and it is always arriving." Close your eyes, if you will, and picture the sun rising over a field. With each ray of light, golden coins shimmer across the grass. With every breath of wind, blossoms of abundance open. This is gratitude. This is the wealth of being alive, of knowing that Source is limitless and your portion is secure. If you have ever felt the power of gratitude bring abundance into your life, whether in money, health, or joy, share your story, for someone else will be blessed by it today. There is a quiet but powerful truth that Florence Scovel Shinn declared again and again. Wealth is not stolen, nor is it earned through fear and toil. It is claimed as a divine birthright. You are not a beggar before the gates of heaven. You are an heir to the kingdom of infinite supply. Pause and breathe into that. How different life feels when you know that what you desire is already yours by decree of divine right. Not through competition, not through grasping, not through guilt, but through grace. For God, the infinite Source, has already prepared a treasury in your name. You are not fighting to earn it. It is simply waiting for you to claim it. Have you ever stood before a locked door with the key already in your pocket? How strange to struggle and strain, pushing and pulling, while the answer rests quietly within reach. Claiming your wealth is like reaching into your pocket, finding the key, and opening the door. The riches of heaven are not withheld. They are waiting for recognition. Florence spoke often of the bold declaration, "I claim my good now in grace and in perfect ways." You may whisper it softly at first, but eventually you will rise and proclaim it with authority. Not arrogance, but certainty. Not demanding, but affirming. For as a child of God, you are entitled to the fullness of supply. Say it now with me, gently but firmly. I claim my millions now in grace and in perfect ways. Notice what rises in your heart. Perhaps hesitation, perhaps guilt, perhaps the echo of old voices. Who am I to ask for millions? Who am I to deserve such wealth? But pause, those voices are not the voice of spirit. They are echoes of fear inherited from a world that has mistaken poverty for holiness and struggle for virtue. Let us set the record straight. Divine wealth harms no one. It is not taken from another. It flows from the infinite storehouse where supply never diminishes. When you claim your millions, you are not depriving another. You are opening a channel through which blessing may flow to others as well. A wealthy soul can feed the hungry, clothe the poor, inspire the weary, and create beauty in the world. Poverty cannot multiply good. Abundance can. Picture this: a vast treasury, endless halls filled with gold jewels, radiant treasures beyond measure. Each chamber is labeled with the name of a child of God, and one of those doors has your name upon it. The angels have guarded it for ages. The key is already in your hand. Will you walk past saying, "Not me, I am not worthy"? Or will you step forward and open the door, knowing it has been prepared for you since the foundation of the world? Remember, hesitation is doubt, and doubt delays. But gratitude and bold claiming accelerate. You do not beg for what is yours. You do not wait until the world approves. You stand in your inheritance and say, "This is mine now by divine right." Consider the prodigal son. He wandered, squandered, fell into want. Yet when he returned, the father did not scold, did not demand repayment, did not assign him to servitude. The Father clothed him in the best robe, placed a ring upon his hand, and declared, "All that I have is thine." That is the eternal message. The supply is already yours. It waits for your return, your recognition, your claiming. When you affirm, "I claim my millions," now you are not grasping greedily. You are aligning with truth. You are acknowledging the vast reservoir of good that God has for you. You are opening your channel so that blessings may pour forth, not only into your life, but into the lives of all you touch. Let us speak it again louder this time. With conviction, I claim my millions now, in grace and in perfect ways. Feel how the words shift your posture. They straighten the spine. They lift the chin. They remind you that you are not a servant, but a child of the infinite. I once heard of a man who struggled deeply with finances. For years, he worked long hours, worried constantly, and yet money always slipped through his fingers. One day in desperation, he came across the writings of Florence Scovel Shinn. The phrase struck him like lightning, "I claim my good now." He decided, though skeptical, to repeat this affirmation daily. "I claim my millions now in grace and in perfect ways." At first, nothing changed, but within weeks, unexpected opportunities arose. A forgotten inheritance was released. A business partner appeared with a new venture. His financial life transformed not by grasping, but by claiming. He later said, "I realized I had been asking life to give me permission, but the moment I claimed my divine right, life responded." This is the shift I invite you into. No more asking permission. No more apologizing for desiring abundance. No more shrinking into fear of too much. There is no too much with God. There is only overflow, and the overflow blesses all. Let us close this block with a decree 3 times so that it echoes in the chambers of your heart. I claim my millions now in grace and in perfect ways. I claim my millions now in grace and in perfect ways. I claim my millions now in grace and in perfect ways. If you feel the truth of it stirring within you, even just a spark, declare it into the world. Type it, write it, say it aloud, I receive it. For when the word goes forth, it sets creation in motion. Have you ever noticed how the most life-changing opportunities rarely arrive through the front gate, the one you thought you had to wait by? More often, they arrive through doors you didn't even know existed. Florence Scovel Shinn taught us that when you align with divine right supply, the universe delights in surprising you. The way is rarely what you expect, but it is always perfect. Picture a long hallway lined with countless doors. Some are tall and ornate, others plain and unremarkable. You may stand knocking at one for years, convinced it is the only way in, while behind you, another door swings open wide, flooding the corridor with light. Gratitude and divine trust allow you to stop fixating on the locked doors and instead remain open, receptive, ready to walk through the ones that fly open freely. Florence often declared, I do not limit God by outlining. I let God have full sway, for I know His ideas are perfect. And so, when you declare abundance, you must also remain flexible in how it arrives. The blessing may not come from your job, your bank, or your current circumstances. It may arrive through a new connection, a surprising turn, or an impossible breakthrough. These are the unexpected doors. Let me tell you a story. There was once an entrepreneur, a woman with vision yet weighed down by debt and disappointment. She had knocked on many doors, banks for loans, investors for backing, clients for sales. Each door seemed shut tight. Exhausted, she surrendered. And in her surrender, she began to practice a simple affirmation. Unexpected doors fly open for me in grace and in perfect ways. At first, she felt silly. Which doors? Where? How? But she continued. Each morning, she spoke it aloud, imagining light-filled doors swinging open before her. One day, in the most ordinary of settings, a local cafe, she met a stranger who struck up conversation. Within minutes, this person revealed themselves to be an investor with an interest exactly aligned with her vision. What she had begged for in boardrooms flowed freely over coffee. The door opened without struggle. Within months, her enterprise flourished. Unexpected doors. The phrase itself carries magic, does it not? It reminds us that life is not confined to the narrow path we see. Infinite intelligence has infinite ways to deliver supply. When you affirm it, you magnetize those ways. Say it now with me. Unexpected doors fly open for me in grace and in perfect ways. Say it again, slower, feeling the words unlock your heart. Unexpected doors fly open for me in grace and in perfect ways. Notice how the phrase feels like a breeze, pushing doors ajar one after another, leading you onward. Sometimes the closed doors are blessings. They redirect you toward the ones meant for you. Have you ever been denied something you thought you wanted, only to find something far better waiting? That is the mystery of divine right order. The no of one door is the yes of another. Gratitude allows you to bless the closed doors and walk joyfully toward the ones that swing open. Florence would often remind her students, nothing stands between man and his highest ideals and every desire of his heart but doubt and fear. It is not the locked door itself that keeps you bound. It is your belief that there is no other door. Release that belief. Step back. Look around. Infinite corridors stretch out before you. Doors are opening even now. Imagine yourself walking down a radiant hallway. Each door you pass whispers with possibility. Suddenly, one bursts open, light pouring out. Inside, you see opportunity, an invitation, a connection, a provision prepared for you. You step through, and as you do, more doors open one after another, like a chain of miracles. This is how abundance unfolds, not one door, but many, not one way, but countless ways. Let us affirm it again, stronger this time, weaving it into your spirit. Unexpected doors fly open for me again and again and again. Repeat it like footsteps echoing down that golden hallway. Unexpected doors fly open for me. Unexpected doors fly open for me. Unexpected doors fly open for me. Feel the rhythm of it like knocking that is answered instantly. When you live in this truth, you cease to cling. You release desperation. You stop outlining how your supply must arrive. Instead, you move in joyful expectancy, knowing the divine delights in surprising you. And in that expectancy, you radiate magnetism. People are drawn to you, opportunities find you, and supply flows towards you with ease. The woman in the cafe could not have plotted her encounter. The entrepreneur who met her investor did not scheme her way into that moment. She aligned, she affirmed, she opened her heart, and the door opened for her. And so, it will be for you. Say it once more with conviction as a decree to the universe. Unexpected doors fly open for me in grace and in perfect ways. And if you are ready for your next breakthrough, declare it outwardly. Write it, speak it, comment it into existence. Doors open. For every word is a seed, and when you sow it, the harvest must come. Have you ever stood on a mountainside after a heavy snowfall? The air is hushed, the weight of silence pressing in, as if the world is holding its breath. Then suddenly, with a crack like thunder, the snow shifts. It begins as a trickle, then a slide, then a rushing, unstoppable cascade. The mountain roars with motion, and in moments what was still becomes a living force. This, my beloved, is the perfect metaphor for divine wealth. Florence Scovel Shinn gave us the vision there are avalanches of abundance. Not drops, not crumbs, not a polite drizzle, but avalanches unstoppable, overflowing, vast beyond measure. The shift we are called into is to move from trickle thinking into avalanche thinking. For most people, wealth is imagined as a slow drip, a cautious accumulation, pennies stacked over years. But divine supply does not arrive timidly. It rushes, cascades, floods with more than you thought to ask for. Let us pause and consider. Have you been limiting God with a thimble when the infinite offers oceans? Have you been expecting a drip when avalanches are prepared for you? Close your eyes and hear it. The rumble of snow loosening, the gathering momentum, the rush down the slope. Now replace snow with golden coins, with radiant streams of light, with blessings beyond number. Hear the sound of wealth cascading toward you, not in fear, but in joy, unstoppable and magnificent. That is how abundance moves when you align with it. There was once a man who always prayed for just enough. Enough to pay the bills, enough to keep the lights on, enough to scrape by. His prayers were always answered. He always had just enough, never more. One day, a teacher challenged him. Why do you limit God? Why do you fear overflow? Begin to affirm not just enough, but abundance overflowing, cascading more than enough. He resisted at first, but finally surrendered to the experiment. Each day, he declared, I am receiving avalanches of abundance in grace and in perfect ways. At first, he laughed at himself. Avalanches him. Yet within weeks, doors began to open. He received unexpected checks, offers, opportunities. Not a trickle, but an overflow. Money came from sources he had not imagined, and soon he saw it. His belief had been the dam holding back the river. When he shifted, the flood poured forth. Say it now with me, I am receiving avalanches of abundance in grace and in perfect ways. Let the words gather momentum like the snow on the mountain. Whisper it once, then louder, then with power. Avalanches of abundance are flowing to me now. Feel how the very rhythm of the phrase creates movement in your spirit. Avalanches are not hesitant. They are unstoppable. They are not small, they are vast. They do not ask permission. They pour forth with force. And so it is with divine wealth. It is not timid, not reluctant. It rushes toward you with power. And when it comes, it sweeps away lack, dissolves fear, and leaves in its wake a transformed landscape. Picture yourself standing at the foot of a mountain of light. Suddenly, streams of golden coins, radiant jewels, and luminous blessings pour down towards you. They rush around you, surround you, lift you up. You are not crushed, you are carried. The avalanche is not destruction, but blessing. It is the unstoppable generosity of God rushing into your life. Do not be afraid of overflow. Some shrink back thinking, what if it is too much for me? What if I cannot handle it? But Spirit never gives without equipping. The avalanche does not arrive to bury you, but to elevate you. You will find yourself expanding, growing strengthened by the supply that comes. You will bless others, give freely, and live in greater joy. Let us affirm together with joy, I am ready for avalanches of abundance. Say it again. Let it ring like thunder across the mountains of your soul. I am ready for avalanches of abundance. And again, for the third time to seal it, I am ready for avalanches of abundance. Florence wrote, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. If you see yourself scraping by, that is what arrives. But if you see yourself in the midst of avalanches, if you dare to imagine the flood of blessing rushing toward you, then your consciousness aligns with the infinite's generosity." I invite you to shift your vision now. No more thimbles, no more trickles. See the avalanches, hear them, feel them, declare them. And if your heart leaps at this truth, speak it aloud now, wherever you are. I am ready for avalanches of abundance. For when you speak it, the mountain begins to move. There is a subtle deception in the human mind that whispers, someday. Someday when the stars align. Someday when I've worked harder, saved longer, proven myself more. Someday when I am worthy. But Florence Scovel Shinn shattered that illusion with a clear, unwavering truth. Supply is endless and it is immediate. The infinite is not stingy. The source is not withholding. Your good is not filed away in some future cabinet waiting for the right paperwork to be approved. It is here. It is now. It flows like an ocean wave after wave, never pausing, never depleting. The only delay is in human belief. The waiting is not in heaven, but in us. Have you stood by the shore watching the sea? Notice how the waves do not stop to ask permission before rolling in. They do not hesitate. They do not calculate whether the shore deserves them. They come because it is their nature to come. So it is with your supply. Every moment, waves of abundance are rolling toward you. The question is not, is supply available? The question is, am I open to receive it? Imagine this: you are thirsty, standing before a fountain. The water flows endlessly clear and cool, yet you hold out a teaspoon, catching only a drop at a time. You grow impatient, convinced the fountain is stingy, when in truth it gushes in overflowing measure. You simply need to put down the teaspoon and place a cup, a bucket, a vessel beneath it. Gratitude and faith enlarge the vessel. Doubt shrinks it, but the flow itself never ceases. Let us affirm now with simplicity and power. My supply is endless and immediate. Every need is met here and now. Say it once more slower, feeling the weight of each word. My supply is endless and immediate. Every need is met here and now. I once heard of a woman who faced a financial crisis. Her rent was due, her account empty, her heart heavy. Fear gnawed at her, but instead of collapsing into despair, she turned to affirmation. She spoke aloud with intensity. God is my immediate supply. Money comes to me now in perfect ways. She repeated it again and again, not as begging, but as certainty. That very afternoon, she received an unexpected deposit, funds owed to her from months before, released exactly on the day she needed them. She wept not just for the money, but for the lesson supply is immediate when you trust. There is no someday with God, only now. The oak tree exists within the acorn. The harvest exists within the seed. The miracle exists within this moment. When you believe in delay, you push it away. When you believe in immediacy, you open the door. Pause and imagine again the waves. They are rolling toward you, one after another. You are not waiting for the ocean to refill. It is infinite. It is constant. so is your supply. Let us shift into rhythm, quickening the pace to match the truth of immediacy.
My supply is here. My supply is now. My supply is endless. My supply is immediate. Say it again like a heartbeat.
Here, now, endless, immediate. Here, now, endless, immediate.
The words themselves carry power, breaking the illusion of delay.
Florence once said, "Man's word is his wand filled with magic and power." When you speak now, you activate now. When you speak someday, you postpone indefinitely. So let us take the wand in hand and speak only the present. I have it now. I receive it now. I give thanks for it now.
Endless, immediate. These are the qualities of divine supply.
There is no competition, for the ocean cannot be emptied. There is no waiting line, for every wave is yours. There is no delay except the delay of doubt.
Let me ask you gently, what are you postponing to someday? What dream have you shelved, telling yourself you must wait? Bring it back down. Place it in the present. See it fulfilled now. Feel it in your hands, in your heart, in your life. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now.
Affirm it with me once more, sealing it into your consciousness.
My supply is endless and immediate. Every need is met here and now.
And if this truth stirs something in you, do not keep it to yourself. Bless another with it. Share it. Speak it. For every time you remind another soul of immediacy, you deepen your own belief.
Your supply is not on the way. It is not someday. It is here. It is now. It is endless. It is immediate. There is a sweetness, a softness in the knowing that everything arrives in perfect ways and at the perfect time. Florence Scovel Shinn often reminded her students that the laws of spirit are never late, never hurried, never chaotic. They move with elegance as the tides move, as the seasons turn, as the stars trace their orbits across the night sky. When you try to force supply, you entangle yourself in fear. When you cling, you delay. When you demand in desperation, you shut the very doors meant to open freely. But when you rest, when you trust, you allow infinite intelligence to arrange all things in grace. Imagine a train moving across the land. You may not see it yet from your station. The platform seems empty, the tracks quiet. You look down the line and wonder, has it forgotten me? Will it ever arrive? But the timetable is perfect. The train is already on its way, moving closer with every passing moment. Just because you cannot see it does not mean it is not coming. At exactly the right moment, you will hear the whistle, see the lights, feel the ground tremble, and your journey will continue. So it is with divine supply. Say this softly, letting each word wash over you. I rest in the knowing that all arrives in perfect ways at the perfect time.
Notice how those words feel like a release. The shoulders drop, the breath deepens, the heart loosens. Fear is a tightening, but trust is an opening. The oak tree does not force the acorn to sprout in a day. The ocean does not rush its tides. Spring does not arrive before winter has finished its quiet work. There is a rhythm to all things, a divine choreography. And when you trust that rhythm, you live in peace. I recall the story of a man who was desperate for a new home. His current living situation was cramped, noisy, filled with stress. He prayed daily, affirming, I am divinely housed. But nothing seemed to move. Days passed, weeks passed, and his heart grew restless. One morning, weary of doubt, he shifted his prayer. Instead of pleading, he said with quiet surrender,
I trust in grace and perfect timing. My home is already prepared, and it arrives exactly when it should. Just days later, a friend unexpectedly mentioned an apartment opening that was not even listed publicly. It was affordable, beautiful, and exactly in the area he had long desired. Had it been revealed earlier, it would not have been ready for him. Had it come later, someone else would have taken it. The timing was exact. So often, delay is not denial. It is alignment. The blessing is being polished, prepared, aligned behind the curtain. When the curtain lifts, you will see why it could not have been a moment sooner or later. Say it again with me this time, breathing deeply as you speak. I rest in the knowing that all arrives in perfect ways at the perfect time. Florence said faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly. Faith does not wring its hands. Faith does not pace the floor. Faith smiles, rests, and prepares the table knowing the guest is already on the way. Imagine yourself as the host of a grand feast. You do not worry whether your guests will come. You know they are invited and you know they will arrive. So you prepare the table, light the candles, and wait in joy. This is how we receive wealth and supply. We do not wait in worry. We wait in expectancy. Let us shift into meditation now. Close your eyes if you wish. Breathe slowly. With each inhale, feel trust filling your body. With each exhale, release control. Whisper inwardly, I let go. I trust. I rest. All arrives for me in grace and in perfect timing. Stay there a moment. Feel the quiet power of surrender. You may notice resistance, the mind wanting to control, to outline, to insist. That is natural. Smile at it. Let it pass like a cloud drifting across the sky. Return again to the stillness beneath the unshakable truth that spirit never forgets, never fails, never delays. The flowers bloom in season. The rain falls in season. The harvest comes in season. And so your wealth, your opportunities, your breakthroughs arrive exactly when they should. No rushing, no forcing, no doubting, only resting in grace. Let us close this part with the affirmation spoken gently 3 times. I rest in the knowing that all arrives in perfect ways at the perfect time. I rest in the knowing that all arrives in perfect ways at the perfect time. I rest in the knowing that all arrives in perfect ways at the perfect time. And now, beloved, simply rest. Gratitude is more than a pleasant emotion. It is a spiritual and neurological rewiring, a divine force that shifts the very patterns of the brain and the soul. Science has found what mystics knew long before microscopes and brain scans existed. Gratitude changes the pathways of the mind. When you practice gratitude consistently, you are not simply listing nice things on paper. You are awakening dormant circuits in the brain, training your inner instrument to seek abundance rather than lack. Imagine gratitude as sunlight touching the soil. The seed of abundance already buried deep within you may remain dormant in darkness, but when light shines upon it, consistent, warm, unwavering, the seed stirs. The roots reach downward and the sprout emerges upward, eager to grow. Gratitude is that sunlight. Without it, the seed lies still waiting. With it, life unfolds. Modern neuroscience tells us that neurons that fire together wire together. When you repeat a thought, the brain carves a groove like water, running through sand, deepening with each repetition. Most people, without knowing it, rehearse scarcity. They repeat complaints, They rehearse worries, they ruminate on lack. The mind becomes skilled at seeing only what is missing, filtering life through poverty consciousness. But gratitude interrupts that cycle. Each time you say, I am grateful for this provision, this opportunity, this blessing, you redirect the water of thought. You carve a new groove. Over time, the mind naturally seeks the abundance, even in the smallest details, until it becomes effortless to see the good.
I recall a woman who came to me once disheartened by constant lack. She had little money, little work, and heavy debt. Each day she rehearsed her troubles to herself and others. She said, "It is always this way. Nothing changes for me." Her words, repeated like a mantra, became her law of life. But she agreed to a simple practice to write down 3 financial blessings she could honestly acknowledge each night. At first, she struggled. One day she wrote, "I am grateful I had enough to buy bread." Another day she wrote, "I am grateful my electricity is still on."
Day by day, the practice shifted her. As she wrote, she noticed small doors opening, an old friend offering a meal, a discount arriving unexpectedly, a client paying her sooner than expected. Within months, she wrote, "I am grateful for my growing income." Within a year, she had a thriving freelance business. What changed? Not the outer world first, but the inner pattern. Gratitude trained her mind to recognize supply instead of lack, and recognition is the doorway to manifestation. Florence Scovel Shinn said man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. Gratitude makes you see. It trains the imagination to dwell on receiving until receiving is no longer a surprise, but a natural continuation. Let us pause and affirm together. I am grateful for the money that flows to me now. I see it, I bless it, I welcome it. My gratitude multiplies my blessings. Say it aloud. Feel it in your chest like sunlight warming you. Each time you repeat, the groove deepens. Wealth consciousness takes root. Consider this: the subconscious mind is like fertile soil. It does not argue, it does not discriminate, it simply grows what is planted. If you plant weeds of complaint, weeds grow. If you plant seeds of gratitude, harvests of wealth appear. And gratitude must be spoken, written, repeated, rehearsed, not once, but daily. Think of repetition as the watering of a garden. A seed watered only once may sprout, but it cannot thrive. Gratitude is the daily watering that allows the seed of abundance to grow strong and unshakable until storms cannot uproot it. And so gratitude and manifestation are not 2 separate practices, but one seamless flow. Gratitude is manifestation in motion. To be grateful is to acknowledge that abundance is already here, and acknowledgement opens the way for more. I invite you now to take action. Write 1 financial blessing you are grateful for today in the comments. It may be as simple as, "I am grateful I could buy a cup of coffee," or as grand as, "I am grateful for my expanding income." Speak it, write it, share it. For every time you put gratitude into words, you multiply its power. Money is not meant to stagnate. Like a river, its strength lies in its movement. A river that ceases to flow becomes a swamp, heavy and stale. But when it runs freely, it nourishes fields, carries ships, and refreshes all who draw from it. So it is with money. To fear spending is to dam the river, to choke its flow. But to spend with inspiration guided by faith is to keep the waters of supply moving, ever refreshing, ever multiplying. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "I spend fearlessly under divine inspiration, knowing my supply multiplies. These words are not mere sentiment, they are spiritual law. When you spend with fear, you affirm lack. When you spend with faith, you affirm abundance. There was once a young man who longed to open his own design studio. He had skill, passion, and vision, but little money. An opportunity arose for him to invest in new equipment. His mind hesitated, whispering, "If you spend this, you may have nothing left." But something deeper urged, "Step forward." This is inspired. Against his fear, he acted. He purchased the equipment, and within weeks, clients began to pour in. One contract alone returned 10 times the cost. He said later, "I realized money was never leaving me. It was circulating back multiplied." Fearful spending is like grasping at water. The tighter you clutch, the more it slips away. Inspired spending is like opening your hand in the river. Water flows through, and in flowing it returns. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a wide, shimmering river. You cup your hand into the water, lifting it joyfully. As you let it spill back, the river rushes to fill your palm again. So it is with every inspired purchase. The river of divine supply can never run dry, for its source is infinite. I once knew a woman who practiced this truth in her daily life. Each time she paid a bill, she blessed the money with these words, "I send you forth to bless and return multiplied." At first, she feared her small salary could never stretch. But as she continued blessing her circulation, unexpected gifts and raises appeared. She said, "It was as though my bills turned into seeds, each one returning as a harvest." The difference was not in the numbers, but in the spirit. She stopped calling it spending and began calling it circulating. Words matter. Spending sounds like loss. Circulating sounds like movement. Words create the pattern, and patterns become experiences. Say this now with me: every dollar I spend returns multiplied. I circulate with joy, and the flow returns to me increased. Feel the release as you say it. Money is not leaving you. It is flowing, carrying blessings into the world and rushing back with companions. Perhaps you have noticed how fearful spending leaves a residue, anxious thoughts, regret, a sense of emptiness. Inspired spending leaves a glow, peace, joy, even anticipation. That is the mark of divine inspiration, peace. For the Spirit does not drive with fear, it leads with assurance. Let us be clear, inspired spending is not reckless. It is not impulsive or wasteful. It is guided. You will feel a quiet knowing, an inner yes, even if your logical mind hesitates. This is faith in action. Consider the farmer. If he clutches his seeds, saying, "I cannot afford to let these go," he reaps nothing. But if he casts them upon the earth, trusting the process, a harvest returns. Money, too, is a seed. When sown with faith, it multiplies. One man I counseled once feared tithing, though he believed in the principle. "If I give," he said, "I will have less." I reminded him, giving is sowing. You are not losing, you are planting. At last, he tried releasing a portion with blessing. Within a short time, a promotion came unexpectedly. He laughed. I see now that circulation is not subtraction, it is multiplication. Inspired and fearless spending aligns you with the rhythm of the universe, a rhythm of give and receive, flow and return. To resist it is to stand against the current, exhausting yourself. To join it
is to glide effortlessly carried by abundance. Take this affirmation into your heart. I spend fearlessly under divine inspiration. My supply is endless, my circulation is joyful, and every seed I plant returns as a harvest. Let this truth echo in you. Release the clutch of fear and step into the river. Circulation is life. Comment and affirm now. Every dollar I spend returns multiplied. Speak it, write it, claim it, for your words are the law of your life. Scarcity is not merely a condition of the wallet, it is a condition of the mind. A man or woman can have a full bank account and still tremble with fear of tomorrow. Another can have only a little and yet walk in peace, knowing supply is ever present. The true battle is not outside in the marketplace, but inside in the thoughts and beliefs we rehearse daily. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Fear is only faith inverted." What a striking truth! Fear is not absence of belief. It is belief in the wrong direction. It is faith in loss, faith in limitation, faith in the power of lack. Just as faith in abundance produces abundance, faith in scarcity produces scarcity. Imagine the mind as a garden. Within it grow all manner of plants. Scarcity thoughts are weeds, thorny, aggressive, always seeking to choke out the good. They whisper, "There isn't enough. What if I lose everything, others prosper, but not me?" Left unchecked, these weeds multiply until the garden is strangled. But just as a gardener uproots weeds and plants roses, you too can uproot scarcity and plant abundance. I once knew a man named Joseph who lived under the grip of scarcity. He grew up hearing his parents say, "We can't afford it." Money is hard to come by. As an adult, every purchase filled him with dread. Even when he earned more, the fear never left. His life felt like a tightrope over emptiness. One day, Joseph began a new practice. Each time a scarcity thought rose, he stopped and declared aloud, "That is a weed, not my truth. I uproot it now. I live in God's abundance." At first it felt forced, but little by little the grip loosened. His mind, once haunted by lack, began to relax. In time, he noticed more opportunities, more peace, and more flow. He laughed. "I realized the money didn't change. First, my mind did. The money only followed." This is the law. Outer conditions reflect inner belief. To overcome scarcity, you must exchange your mental diet. If you feed your mind fear, you will harvest lack. If you feed your mind faith, you will harvest plenty. Consider this contrast. A woman wakes each morning saying, "I never have enough. Things always go wrong." She rehearses it to her friends. She feels it in her bones. Doors close. Opportunities vanish. Her words, repeated like a drumbeat, summon the law of scarcity. Another wakes and says, "Today provision finds me. I live in abundance." She blesses her meals, her bills, her work. She refuses the weeds. Though her beginning is small, her path shines brighter, for her words carve the way. The difference is not fortune, but mindset. The same sun shines on both gardens. One is choked with weeds. The other blooms with roses. Say this now with me, as though you are plucking weeds from your heart. I uproot all scarcity now. I refuse fear. I choose faith. I live in God's unlimited supply. Feel the release as you say it. The weeds wither at the sound of truth. The scarcity mindset thrives on comparison. It says, "There's only so much to go around. If another prospers, it means less for me." But this is false. God's storehouse is infinite. The prosperity of your neighbor is proof that prosperity is possible for you too. To resent another's blessing is to close your own door. To rejoice in it is to swing your gates wide. Florence often reminded her students, "What you bless, you draw to you. What you curse, you push away." If you look at another's wealth with envy, you affirm distance. If you bless it, you affirm likeness. Say this now: I bless the wealth I see, for it proves wealth is mine also. Let us return to the garden image. Picture yourself walking among the plants of your mind. You see weeds labeled, "Not enough, I'll never make it, I always struggle." With strong hands, you pull them up one by one. You toss them aside. In their place, you plant roses labeled, "Overflow divine provision." My supply multiplies. As the garden clears, sunlight pours in. The fragrance of abundance fills the air. This is the transformation within you now. When you commit to uprooting scarcity daily, you begin to notice miracles. Bills are met in surprising ways. Work arrives through channels you never expected. Your heart, once clenched in fear, rests open. The garden begins to bloom, and so does your life. Remember, fear is faith inverted. You cannot destroy faith, but you can redirect it. Instead of believing in lack, choose to believe in supply. Instead of saying it always goes wrong, say things always work out for me. With each choice, you train the soil of the subconscious to produce new fruit. Now affirm with me once more as a declaration of finality. I uproot all scarcity now. My garden blooms with abundance. I live in divine supply.
Speak it in the comments now. I uproot all scarcity now. Declare it boldly, for your words are seeds, and today you plant a harvest of wealth. One of the greatest mistakes people make in the realm of prosperity is to decide in advance how their supply must come. They say, I will only receive through this job, or money can only arrive from this source. But the spirit is unlimited, and when you limit the how, you dam the river of supply.
Florence Scovel Shinn often said, "Do not limit the channels." Infinite intelligence has ways we know not of. To expect only through one channel is to stand at a single door, ignoring the 100 windows already opening around you. God's supply is not confined to one avenue. It can arrive through salaries, gifts, opportunities, forgotten debts, repaid, unexpected ideas, even chance meetings. The source is one, but the channels are many. Imagine a great river fed by countless streams. Some streams are wide and visible, others are hidden, trickling underground until they surface. If you believe the river is fed by only one stream, you panic when that stream runs low. But when you remember the many unseen feeders, you rest easy, knowing the river cannot dry up. So it is with your prosperity.
Let me share with you a story of Maria, a teacher who longed to expand her life. She wanted to attend a professional course but could not see how to pay for it. She said, "Unless I get a raise, it's impossible." She had chained her vision to one channel, her salary. I encouraged her, do not decide the channel. Simply affirm, the money comes through perfect, unexpected ways. She practiced this daily. Weeks later, she received a letter from her alma mater. An anonymous donor had created a scholarship for alumni continuing education. Maria qualified. Her course was fully paid. She laughed. I had never imagined this channel, yet it was perfect. When you release the how, you give the infinite permission to surprise you. And surprises are the language of abundance.
Another story. A man once told me of an old bank account he had forgotten. While organizing papers, he discovered it still contained a tidy sum enough to cover a pressing need. He said, "It felt as if the money had been waiting for me all along." Indeed, supply had been stored up for him awaiting recognition. You see, when you pray for supply, you do not create it. It already exists. You simply open your awareness to the channels through which it may arrive. Let us use a metaphor. Imagine standing in a desert thirsty. You see only sand, but beneath the surface, aquifers run deep unseen. If you believe only the surface, you despair. If you trust the unseen, you begin to dig. Soon, water springs forth. The channels were always there, hidden until called forth. Florence taught man must prepare to receive the thing he asks for when there isn't the slightest sign of it in sight. Preparation is faith in action. When you believe supply may arrive through unexpected channels, you stay open. You prepare as if the blessing is already on its way.
Say this with me, I release the how. My supply comes through expected and unexpected channels. God's ways are beyond my imagination.
When you affirm this, you expand the field of possibility. You stop pacing before one closed door and notice the windows opening all around you. There is joy in surprise provision. Have you ever received a gift, a refund, a sudden opportunity you did not expect? That spark of delight that is the taste of divine abundance flowing through new channels. The Spirit loves to surprise. Why? Because surprise breaks the rigid hold of the human mind and teaches trust in the infinite. A woman once shared with me she had affirmed, "My supply comes in miraculous ways." The very next day, she received a check from an overpayment made years before. "I had forgotten it," she said, but God had not. Such stories are not rare. They are natural once you release control of the how. Think again of the river. Each dollar that flows to you may come through a different stream, yet all are fed by the same source. If one dries, another appears. If one slows, another quickens. The river remains. Now let us seal this truth with a living affirmation. My supply flows freely. I am open to unexpected channels. I trust the infinite to surprise me with good. Breathe it in. Release your grip on one way and watch the 100 ways open. Share in the comments a time when provision came to you through an unexpected place. Your story will inspire others to trust the flow of surprising channels. There is a great difference between spending impulsively and spending under divine inspiration. One springs from restlessness, desire to fill a void, or fear of missing out. The other rises from inner peace, from that quiet certainty that says, "This is mine by right. This is in harmony with my path." Florence Scovel Shinn taught that every decision in life can be guided if we are willing to listen. She wrote, "Intuition is a spiritual faculty and does not explain, but simply points the way." When you align with divine inspiration, your money choices cease to be random. They become purposeful, powerful, and fruitful. Think of it as tuning a radio. In a room filled with static, countless signals float through the air unseen. If you turn the dial carelessly, you hear noise. But when you tune carefully, a clear station emerges. That is how divine inspiration works. Static is the noise of fear, impulse, and worry. But if you quiet the static through prayer, affirmation, or silence, you will find the clear voice of guidance. Let me share a story.
Sarah once faced a decision about buying a new car. Her old one was breaking down, but fear told her, "What if you cannot afford the payments?" She prayed, "Spirit, guide me. Show me clearly." She felt a sense of calm about visiting a certain dealership. There, she discovered a nearly new car within her budget, with financing terms better than she had imagined. Later, she said, "I realized I had not been driven by impulse, but led by peace. And the choice blessed me for years." Contrast this with Michael, who purchased a luxury item on a whim, swayed by pressure from friends. Within weeks, regret set in. The item became a burden instead of a blessing. He said, "I acted from restlessness, not guidance." Here lies the key. Divine inspiration is always marked by peace. It may ask you to stretch your faith to take bold action, but it never leaves you in torment. Fear drives, but spirit leads. Fear shouts, but inspiration whispers. How then can you know if a decision is inspired or impulsive? Pause. Breathe. Speak an affirmation such as, "I am divinely guided in every financial decision. I act only under inspiration, never under fear." Then listen. Does peace settle on you even if the step feels bold? That is guidance. Does unease linger even if logic says yes? That is a warning. I knew a woman who longed to invest in her small business. She prayed for direction. One night, she dreamed of planting seeds in rich soil. She woke with clarity. Now is the time. She invested though the move seemed risky. Within months, her business doubled. She said it was not logic alone, it was alignment with divine timing. Think of your financial life as a sailboat. If you row by impulse, you exhaust yourself straining against waves. But if you raise your sail in the wind of inspiration, you glide forward with ease. Divine guidance is the wind that carries you if you are willing to hoist the sail. Let us practice together. Place a hand on your heart and declare, "I am guided. I listen. I follow peace, not fear. My money choices are aligned with divine inspiration." Repeat this until you feel it settle deep. It is not the loud voice of panic, but the quiet stream of wisdom within you. Remember, this truth impulse drains, inspiration multiplies. Every inspired decision plants a seed that grows. Every impulsive decision scatters energy like chaff in the wind. Florence told of a woman who desired a coat, but could not find one that felt right. She waited, guided by intuition. Soon after, she was gifted a coat beautiful, perfect, and free. Had she rushed, she might have missed the perfect provision. Inspiration often says, "Wait." Impulse always says, "Now." So let us anchor this wisdom in words. I align with divine inspiration in every money decision. Peace is my guide. Provision is my portion. If this resonates with you, comment below, "I am guided." Let it be your declaration, your agreement with Spirit, that from this day forward, your choices are aligned with wisdom, not fear. We have journeyed through gratitude, fearless circulation, the uprooting of scarcity, and the wonder of unexpected channels. Now we arrive at one of the most radiant truths in the law of abundance. Wealth does not diminish when shared, it multiplies. Like the biblical miracle of the loaves and fishes, the act of circulation and multiplication is a spiritual principle that defies mere arithmetic. Florence Scovel Shinn reminded us man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. But she also taught giving opens the way for receiving. The universe does not reward hoarding, it rewards flow. When you give, invest, or circulate wealth under divine inspiration, you set in motion a chain of returns far greater than what was released. Picture a single loaf of bread broken and shared among thousands. In the natural world, this should mean each receives but a crumb. Yet in the realm of spirit, the loaf expands to feed multitudes with baskets left over. This is not simply a story of long ago. It is a demonstration of a living law. The moment you place your money, time, or energy into circulation with faith, the law of multiplication takes hold.
Let us consider a parable. A farmer held tightly to his bag of seeds. If I cast these away, he thought, I will have none left. But his neighbor scattered her seeds generously, trusting the soil and the sun. Months later, the fearful farmer stared at his shriveled bag, unchanged, unfruitful. His neighbor, meanwhile, walked among fields of golden grain. What she gave away returned multiplied. What he clutched remained barren. Money is seed. When released in fear, it feels lost. When sown in faith, it returns as harvest. I recall the story of James, a small business owner. At a time when his revenue dipped, he was tempted to retreat to cut back everything. Yet something within nudged him to invest not recklessly, but inspired. He upgraded his workspace and gave generously to his church. Friends thought him foolish, but within months, new contracts arrived far beyond expectation. James smiled and said, I discovered that circulation is not subtraction. It is multiplication. The key lies in the attitude. If you circulate with fear, thinking, I hope this comes back, but I doubt it, you choke the seed. If you circulate with joy, saying, this is multiplying even now, you water the seed. Faith is the sunlight that awakens it. Let us practice the inner law of multiplication. Speak aloud. My wealth circulates and multiplies. I give, I invest, I release under divine inspiration, and it returns pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Feel the vibration of those words. They are not idle sentences. They are spiritual currents sending forth your expectation into the field of manifestation. Think of a river again. If the water flows only one way, it will eventually dry. But when it circulates, rising as vapor, falling as rain, feeding springs, the river grows strong, endless, self-renewing. Money, too, must circulate. To dam it is to stagnate. To release it in faith is to join the great cycle of abundance. There is also a practical truth here. Money multiplies through wise investment, through inspired opportunities, through circulation into ventures that bear fruit. Spirit leads you not only to give, but to plant in fertile ground. Just as the farmer chooses rich soil, you too are guided to circulate into channels that expand. I once counseled a woman who longed to expand her income. She had a small savings, but kept it hidden in fear, earning nothing. I encouraged her pray for guidance and invest with faith. She did, placing her money into a course that sharpened her professional skills. Within a year, her salary doubled. She said it was as if my small seed had become a tree. Multiplication comes when circulation meets inspiration. If you sow in fear, you scatter seed on barren rock. If you sow in faith, you plant in fertile soil. Let us anchor this with a meditation. Close your eyes and imagine your money as golden coins in your hands. See yourself releasing them into a flowing river. Watch as the coins shimmer, dissolve into light, and multiply hundreds, thousands, returning to you in waves.
Feel the joy of giving, the thrill of receiving, the endless circulation of wealth. Now say aloud, my wealth circulates and multiplies. I am part of the divine economy where nothing is lost and everything expands. This affirmation is your key. Repeat it daily. Each time you give, invest, or circulate, say it again. Let the words carve the groove in your mind until wealth multiplication becomes your natural experience.
Remember, this to clutch is to shrink, to release is to expand. The fearful farmer shrinks his harvest. The inspired farmer multiplies. The fearful spender loses peace. The inspired circulator gains overflow. Florence Scovel Shinn told the story of a woman who needed money for rent. She affirmed, "My supply is at hand and comes from unexpected channels." Soon after, she was guided to sell a painting she had owned for years but forgotten. The painting sold for far more than she dreamed, covering her needs with abundance left over. The circulation of her forgotten asset became multiplication in her hands. You too have hidden seeds waiting. Assets, talents, opportunities lying dormant until you dare to circulate them. The Spirit whispers, do not bury your talent. Invest it. Circulate it. Multiply it. Let us seal part 2 with the highest affirmation of all. I am a channel of divine wealth. I give and receive in perfect balance. My money circulates, multiplies, and blesses the world. Nothing is ever lost to me, for I live in an endless flow of increase. Feel the truth of it resonate in your spirit. This is not hope, it is law. You are not a stagnant pool. You are a river of wealth, ever circulating, ever multiplying. Type it boldly in the comments now. My wealth circulates and multiplies. Let it be your decree, your agreement with the law of increase. The morning is holy. The dawn is a doorway, and as the first light breaks upon your eyelids, you are reminded that every sunrise is a new covenant between you and divine supply. Today is not yesterday, and today is not tomorrow. Today is fresh, radiant, rich with possibility. And so you begin not by rushing, not by grasping, not by fearing, but by aligning, by pausing, by remembering that you are the beloved child of infinite abundance. Take a deep breath in. Feel the air filling your lungs, life itself, reminding you, I am alive, I am supported, I am sustained. Breathe out, and with it, release yesterday's doubts. For in this moment, you are pure potential. You are a living magnet of wealth and joy. Now, in this 5-minute ritual of wealth consciousness, you dedicate the first thoughts of the day to gratitude. Before the mind races, before the phone calls, before the obligations, this sacred pause is your foundation. Gratitude is the soil in which abundance blooms. Say softly or within yourself, thank you, Divine Source, for this new day. Thank you for the roof above me, the bed beneath me, the breath within me. Thank you for money already flowing into my life in known and unknown ways. Thank you for doors opening, for pathways unfolding, for miracles already on their way. I am grateful, and in my gratitude I receive. Let the words ripple through your body. Gratitude is not a mere thought, it is a vibration. It lifts the heart, it expands the chest, it opens the invisible vault of heaven. Every thank you is a key, and the more you speak it, the more the treasure of life is revealed. Now stand tall, shoulders back, spine long, as if you are wearing a crown of golden light. In truth, you are, for every child of God wears a crown.
Speak your affirmations aloud with authority as though you are summoning your reality into form. I am wealthy now. I am prosperous now. I am divinely supplied now. Money comes to me easily, frequently, and abundantly. I am a magnet for miracles. Everything I need is provided at the right time in the right way. I am worthy. I am chosen. I am rich in every way. Repeat them slowly, letting each word press into the soil of your subconscious. Imagine your words as seeds, golden, radiant seeds that the universe immediately waters. With each repetition, the garden grows. Pause for a breath. Close your eyes and see yourself walking through a life of wealth. Visualize opening your bank app and seeing numbers that delight you. Visualize checking your mailbox and finding unexpected checks. Visualize offers, opportunities, divine ideas arriving like radiant birds landing upon your windowsill. Feel your heart swell with the knowing, it is mine now. Now affirm again with joy, with laughter if you can. My wealth is inevitable. My abundance is unstoppable. Divine supply never fails. I live in plenty. I breathe in prosperity. I walk in miracles. I receive with ease. I give with joy. I am safe in the flow of infinite supply. Let it wash over you. Feel it as a tide of light. Feel yourself glowing, shining, expanding. The more you affirm, the more natural it feels, because this is your truth. You are not creating abundance out of thin air. You are remembering that it is already yours. Now place your hands over your heart. Whisper gently, thank you, thank you, thank you. Whisper it again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And once more, thank you, thank you, thank you. The morning is complete. The foundation is set. The 5 minutes of gratitude and affirmation ripple through the entire day, magnetizing, aligning blessing. You rise not as one chasing money, but as one standing in wealth. For what you affirm in the morning, you live in the noon, and you reap in the evening. Today, wealth is yours. Today, miracles are yours. Today, abundance flows in avalanches of good. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths, each one slower, fuller, more intentional than the last. With each exhale, release the tension, the doubt, the worry. You are safe. You are guided. You are opening now to a vision so bright, so vivid, so irresistible that the subconscious cannot help but obey. Imagine yourself standing at the base of a great mountain. Snow gleams at the top, the sun lighting each crystal into a diamond. The air is crisp, pure, alive. You feel anticipation stirring within you, for you know that something vast is about to move. You look upward, and suddenly you see it an avalanche, not of destruction, but of abundance. Instead of snow cascades of golden coins, shimmering bills, radiant treasures tumble down toward you. They pour and pour, endless, unstoppable, covering the mountainside in wealth. You hear the thunderous yet joyous roar of riches rushing in. Breathe with it. Inhale, I receive. Exhale, it is mine. Inhale, I receive. Exhale, it is mine. The avalanche does not harm, it blesses. It rushes toward you, surrounding you, filling your hands, your arms, your very pockets with overflowing wealth. You lift your hands and laugh, spinning as the golden current sweeps around you. Your hair shines with flecks of gold dust. Your clothes sparkle with prosperity. You are drenched, immersed, bathed in abundance. Say aloud with the vision alive before you, I am caught in avalanches of abundance. Money flows to me in unstoppable rivers. Wealth rushes to me from all directions.
I am drenched in prosperity. I am overwhelmed with blessings. I cannot stop the flow of good. It pursues me. It surrounds me. It overtakes me. My wealth is endless. My supply is infinite. I am rich now. Let the words echo. See yourself standing tall as the avalanche continues. Feel the ground beneath you steady, strong, supporting you. The avalanche does not bury, it elevates. You rise higher, lifted by the sheer flood of good. Your bank accounts swell. Your home glitters with comfort. Your future shines brighter and brighter. Breathe deeply again. Inhale, I allow. Exhale, I receive. Now imagine gathering the wealth in baskets, in chests, in banks of light. You have more than enough. You give freely, joyfully, abundantly. Each time you give, the avalanche grows stronger, pouring more. Each act of generosity multiplies the river. Whisper to yourself, I live in overflow. I live in increase. I live in more than enough. Every bill is paid. Every debt is dissolved. Every need is met before I ask. I am drenched, drenched, drenched in abundance. Stay here for a moment. See it. Feel it. Believe it. The avalanche is real. It is the movement of divine supply answering the vibration of your faith. You are safe within it. You are blessed within it. You are crowned within it. When you are ready, breathe one final time deep and certain. I am wealth. I am abundance. I am prosperity embodied. The avalanche has begun and it never ends. There comes a time when quiet belief must be crowned with bold declaration. The universe does not hesitate, and neither shall you. The word you speak is a decree, and every decree is a command to substance, a key turning in the great lock of infinite supply. Stand tall. Imagine yourself at the threshold of a great hall, its doors tall and golden, waiting for your command. The hall beyond is filled with wealth, opportunity upon opportunity, treasure upon treasure, provision upon provision. Yet the doors do not swing open until you speak. And so with strength in your voice, you declare, I now speak the word. All doors of abundance are open to me. Nothing is withheld. Nothing is delayed. Endless supply flows now easily, joyfully, perfectly. I declare it, and it is done. Pause. Feel the vibration in your chest, the resonance of your own voice shaping the unseen. Declare again, louder this time, with full conviction. Open, open, open doors of wealth. Open wide gates of prosperity. Swing forth, infinite good flows freely into my life now and always. Can you feel it? The ground beneath your feet shifts. The doors begin to move. The golden hinges sing with movement. The treasure-laden hall within begins to shimmer, light spilling out, spilling over you. This is not metaphor alone. This is law. The door of supply responds to the voice of command. What you declare with certainty, the universe rushes to perform. Now repeat after me as though we were standing together, hand in hand, speaking into eternity. I declare open doors in my finances. I declare open doors in my business. I declare open doors in my career. I declare open doors in my investments. I declare open doors in my divine ideas. I declare open doors in every pathway of supply. Yes, again, stronger still. Every door is open to me now.
No man can shut what God has opened. No fear can block what faith has released. I walk through wide golden doors into greater wealth, greater joy, greater freedom. My supply is endless. My abundance is without limit. I declare it. I own it. I walk in it now. See the doors flinging open fully now. Step across the threshold. The hall stretches beyond sight, overflowing with radiant treasures, some labeled with your name, some still unknown to you, but all divinely ordained. You walk with head-high arms open, receiving without hesitation. Now say with boldness and repeat each line. I am the heir of infinite supply. I am the owner of endless wealth. I am the child of the Most High, and I lack nothing. My word opens every door I need. My decree draws supply from the invisible to the visible. Pause. Let it soak into your being. Let it echo in your mind like a bell. Now whisper to yourself, I am safe in my wealth. I am supported in my wealth. I am chosen for my wealth. I am wealthy now. Then raise your voice again, full and strong. It is done. It is done. It is done. The declaration seals it. Your spoken decree has unlocked the doors. The endless flow of supply is not a future, it is a present. It is here now. If in this moment you felt the door swing wide, if you felt the ground shift, if you felt the rush of wealth moving toward you, write it in your heart, write it in your soul, and if you desire, declare it to the world with these words, it is done. And so it is. There is a truth few understand. Money is not only to be earned, not only to be saved, not only to be multiplied. Money is a servant of the divine, a messenger of circulation, a tool for creation, and as with every sacred tool, it longs to be guided by wisdom. When you spend unconsciously, money slips through your hands like sand. But when you spend with divine guidance, each dollar becomes a seed, each purchase a prayer, each transaction a door into greater flow. The act of spending transforms into an act of creation. And so we turn to the quiet practice of journaling, sacred listening, guided writing, a conversation between you and infinite mind. For when you ask, how shall I use my wealth today? Heaven whispers, answers that lift, bless, and multiply. Take a breath. Gather your journal, or if you have none nearby, imagine your mind itself as the page. Close your eyes for a moment. Place one hand over your heart, the other resting open in your lap, as if ready to receive. Whisper softly, divine guidance, speak to me now. I am open. I am listening. Direct my spending, direct my giving, direct my saving, direct my investing. May every dollar I use be aligned with your perfect wisdom. May no coin be wasted. May no seed be scattered in vain. May my money multiply in goodness and joy and peace. Now, with pen in hand, right at the top of your page, money flows to me in perfect order. How shall I direct it today? Pause. Breathe. Allow the still, small voice to rise. Perhaps words will come quickly, perhaps slowly. Trust them. Write them. Do not judge. Do not edit. Simply let your hand move. Some prompts for your sacred journaling. What purchases today align with my highest joy? What giving today expands my heart and blesses others? What savings today honor my future self? What investments today grow my wealth in safety and increase? Where is money asking to flow so that more may return to me multiplied? As you write, notice the feeling that comes with each answer.
Guidance often feels light, expansive, peaceful. It does not come with fear or pressure, it comes with calm assurance. Perhaps you feel led to buy a book that will open your mind. Perhaps you feel nudged to pay a bill with joy rather than reluctance. Perhaps you hear the whisper to give generously to someone in need, trusting that what you release will circle back in multiplied form. Whatever arises, honor it, for divine guidance never leads you astray. Now let us affirm together as you look upon the words you have written. My spending is wise. My giving is joyous. My saving is secure. My investing is guided. Every dollar I touch increases, circulates, and returns multiplied. I am led in perfect ways. I cannot make a mistake, for divine wisdom directs my wealth. Say it once more slower, letting each word imprint upon your subconscious. Every dollar I use is a seed. Every seed I plant grows into forests of abundance. Nothing is wasted. Everything is multiplied. I am divinely guided in all money matters. Feel how safe that makes you. You are not alone in your financial choices. You are guided always. Even when you feel uncertain, the answer is present, waiting for your stillness. Now return to your journal and write these closing words. I am divinely guided in my money. My wealth is safe. My wealth is growing. My wealth blesses all it touches. Close your eyes once more. See your journal glowing with light, each word you wrote alive, humming with power. Know that what you wrote was not simply imagination, it was communication. Heaven answered. Guidance was given. You are aligned. And now, as you step back into the flow of your day, remember every time you spend, pause for a breath, whisper inwardly, divine wisdom guide me. Even in a store aisle, even when paying a bill, even when considering an investment, you may hear the whisper. Yes, this brings joy, or no. Wait, there is a better way. Your money is not separate from your spiritual path. It is an altar. It is a tool. It is a channel. And you are its wise steward, guided by infinite mind, supplied by infinite source. So go forth today and let your money sing, let your spending shine, let your giving glow. And when guidance comes, honor it. It will always lead you to more. Now, if you feel inspired, share your most luminous, most inspired money idea with others. For when you share, you multiply. And as your inspired action blesses you, it may bless another too. For money, like wisdom, grows as it circulates, and so it is. There is a cycle that has ruled too many lives for too long, the cycle of scarcity. It whispers in subtle fears. There won't be enough. I must hold back. I must shrink. I must limit myself. It binds generations in patterns of lack, passed down as if poverty were an inheritance instead of a lie. But today, that cycle ends. Today, you step into ceremony. Today, you call forth the fire of release, and you burn the false pattern to ash. Take a breath. Imagine you are in a great circle of light. All around you stand others who have chosen freedom. In the center burns a sacred fire, bright, warm, holy. You hold in your hands a scroll. On it are written every belief, every fear, every memory of scarcity that has ever clung to you. Words like not enough, too hard, I can't afford it. Money doesn't come easily. Riches are for others, not me. The scroll is heavy, but it is not yours anymore. Step forward. Look into the fire. Feel its heat not as danger, but as purification. Whisper softly, I release the cycle of scarcity. I release the lie of lack. I release the fear of not enough. I release the old patterns of my family, my culture, my past. I release the chain of limitation. I release all that is not mine. Scarcity, you have no home here. Drop the scroll into the fire. Watch as the flames leap, consuming the words, turning them into smoke, into nothingness. The ashes fall harmless, silent. The cycle is broken. Now, place your hand upon your chest. Declare with strength, I am free from scarcity. I live in abundance. I walk in plenty. I breathe in prosperity. The old cycle is closed. A new cycle begins overflow, increased joy and supply. Repeat again louder, stronger, as though the heavens themselves must hear. Scarcity is broken, abundance is mine. Scarcity is broken, abundance is mine. Scarcity is broken, abundance is mine. See it, the circle of light expands around you brighter and brighter until the whole earth glows. You feel yourself taller, freer, lighter, unburdened. You are no longer the child of scarcity. You are the heir of abundance. Now imagine golden rain falling from above, washing away the last dust of lack. It covers you, blesses you, saturates you. You open your hands and laugh. You are drenched in riches, in provision, in safety. Say aloud with joy, I am rich in every way. I am rich in love. I am rich in health. I am rich in ideas. I am rich in money. I am rich in opportunities. I am rich in miracles. I am rich in divine connections. My life is overflowing. My supply is endless. My wealth is certain. Pause. Feel the shift inside you. Something has been completed. Something has been sealed. The fire ceremony has rewritten your story. Now whisper softly a final seal upon the ritual. The cycle is broken. The chain is gone. I walk free. I walk wealthy. I walk whole. And I will never go back. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the deep peace. Feel the deep certainty. Know that this is not just imagination. This is the subconscious rewritten, the spirit renewed, the truth restored. When you rise from this moment, you will no longer move from fear but from faith. You will no longer spend from panic but from peace. You will no longer shrink but expand. For the cycle of scarcity is broken. And now, as a final act of sealing, speak these words. And if you wish, write them in bold letters where you will see them often. Cycle broken. For each time you speak it, each time you declare it, you affirm your release and strengthen the new pattern of abundance. It is done. There is a rhythm to abundance, and it is the rhythm of breath of tides, of rivers, of oceans. It is the rhythm of inflow and outflow, of receiving and giving, of expansion without end. Prosperity is not something you hold in a closed fist. Prosperity is something you allow, something you channel, something you live as. Imagine yourself standing barefoot on the edge of a vast ocean. The waves roll and the waves roll out. Each tide is endless, each surge steady, each retreat always followed by more. The ocean does not fear running dry. The ocean does not hoard.
The ocean flows because its source is infinite.
So it is with you. You are not a reservoir, you are a channel. You are not a stagnant pool, you are a flowing river. And as you live open, as you allow wealth to move through you, you become like the ocean itself, powerful, unending, vast. Say aloud, breathing with the rhythm of the tide. I am an open channel for prosperity. I receive with ease. I give with joy. I circulate money, ideas, opportunities, blessings. Nothing is blocked. Nothing is withheld. All flows through me and from me in perfect order. Inhale with the wave I receive. Exhale with the wave I give.
Inhale, I receive. Exhale, I give. Feel how natural it is. This is the secret of circulation. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you receive, the more you give. You are never depleted, for you are not the source, you are the channel of source. Now, visualize yourself glowing with golden light streams of energy flowing into you from above, from every direction. They rush into your crown, your hands, your heart, your very breath. The streams are endless: money, opportunities, relationships, ideas, health, joy, all flowing into you like rivers of light. Now see streams flowing outward from you into your family, your community, your business, your projects, your giving, out into the world, blessing, healing, uplifting. And as you release more streams, immediately return stronger, wider, richer. The circulation never ends. Declare boldly with joy, I do not fear loss. I do not fear lack. What flows out returns multiplied. What I give comes back pressed down, shaken, together running over. I am always replenished. I am always supplied. I am always full, overflowing, abundant. Feel the joy of giving. See yourself blessing others with ease, paying with delight, tipping generously, supporting causes you love, surprising loved ones with gifts. Each act of generosity makes you richer, for it keeps the current moving. Say it again. I am a divine channel for prosperity. I am a river of wealth. I am the ocean of supply in motion. Nothing can stop the flow of my abundance. Pause. Smile. Breathe. Let yourself laugh even. For this is the celebration moment, the point where all fear dissolves and only joy remains. Now imagine the entire world, glowing channels of light opening in every person. Imagine billions of streams of abundance circulating from hand to hand, heart to heart, home to home. A world without lack, a world without fear, a world alive with circulation. You are part of this great symphony of flow. You are one note in the orchestra of prosperity. And as you sing your note, the song grows louder, richer, fuller. Say with conviction, as I prosper, the world prospers. As the world prospers, I prosper. I am part of the great circulation of good, and I play my part with joy. Now take a final deep breath and seal this truth. I am open. I am flowing. I am abundant. I am prosperity in motion. Forever and always, I live as an open channel of wealth. And so it is. Share this truth. Let it ripple outward. For the more channels open, the more the tide of abundance rises for all. And so, if your heart is stirred, declare it, I am a channel of prosperity. Share it so more channels may open across the earth. And with that, we close the ceremony of part 3.
You have awakened each morning in gratitude. You have stood beneath avalanches of abundance. You have decreed open doors and endless supply. You have listened to divine guidance in your spending. You have broken the old cycle of scarcity forever. And now you live, you walk, you breathe as an open channel for prosperity, unstoppable and eternal.
The work is complete. The word is spoken. The flow is set.
Abundance is yours now and forevermore.